So, welcome. I'm joined by Linton today.
Hello.
Hello. This is the second episode of The World Reimagined. It will be. I mean, at the moment, the first one hasn't been released, but in the future, it will be. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name's Hang Linton. I am an interdisciplinary artist. I'm working in music, performance, video, and installation. And yeah, that's me. That's what I do.
Have you always worked across all those disciplines, or do you pick them up in a particular order?
I guess I started off with music. Definitely music was the first thing. And my friend, when I was, first off, I got a guitar when I was like 15, and I taught myself like System of a Down songs. And then my friend showed me Fruity Loops, and I started trying to make grime. And then from there, it was just like exploring music and carrying on, like, going into hip hop. But I think I've always had this sort of like rock, stoner, grungy side to me.
What guitar did you get when you were 15?
It was like a Fender Squire grip. You know, like the thing that was popular in the
I've got one.
noughties,
I've still got one.
exactly. So it was one of those, and man, I used to be in a metal band when I was like 15, and but then it's just like I moved to Berlin in 2013, and then that's when I just started to take music a lot more seriously. I moved there with the intention of doing music as a thing to do and start to explore what is possible.
But you're not making metal anymore, so what kind of genres are you, or what kind of art are you producing? Because you're interdisciplinary. So
yeah, sure. I guess that right now, I would define it as avant funk, taking these ideas from like funk grooves and melodies and like choruses, but intertwining it with rock music, but then also under the influence of like hip hop and grime and jungle and house music, and sort of taking these, experimenting, crossing wires and dabbling in and out of things and pushing borders, really. Cool. And then while I was in Berlin, I met my partner, who is a visual artist, and my partner hadn't performed. Laura Luluka, my partner, hadn't performed in a really long time. Used to be a performer because of their chronic disability. And I encouraged them to start performing again and doing music. And Laura encouraged me to get into visuals and video art, and showed me like experimental film and this sort of like, I got my hands on a video synth and a DV camera, and like the textures and the colors, and starting to play around with this. And also Laura's influence just really gave me confidence to explore making videos. So I started making videos for myself and other people. And then that's how the videos started rolling, and it was good.
So how long have you been in Leeds?
I've been in Leeds since October 2020, so it would be like 18 months now.
Yeah. Cool. And what are you up to in the city now? This year, what have you got on?
So what's happening right now is I just landed a role at East Street Arts as an artist curator in public art, and the role is research based. And what I'm doing is I'm exploring themes around public art, and via workshops and talks, and I want to explore unconferences, which is an idea of like removing the hierarchy of knowledge and making sure that everyone that's present at the conference has something to contribute, you know? And I think like making sure that people feel validated in their contributions to certain topics. and really just opening it up to lots of different people. So I want to explore that, and the research that is done will inform how Leeds commissions in the future. And on top of that, I am facilitating a public art working group, which is some of the like big hitters in Leeds, like Yorkshire Sculpture Institute, Duke Studios, Leeds Street Gallery, Pyramid Arts, people from the council and people from Leeds 2023. And we're trying to basically unionize and make sure that there's toolkits and resources available for artists who want to get involved in public art, so that we can sort of create a better space for growth. And yeah,
that sounds great.
Yeah.
And what about as an artist? What are you doing as an artist in the city this year?
Yeah, cool. So I just done a gig last weekend, Easter weekend, and that went really well. And I think for me, I'm basically just going to explore music. I'm trying to I've got a tendency to do too much. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. And especially with being a new parent, it's like, I've got to try and keep it simple. So I've got this project at East Street, and then I'm just going to focus on my music, which seems to be moving really well. I just got confirmed to be a part of the Come Play With Me compilation.
Awesome.
So a single's going to be pressed to wax, which is good. And then, yeah, I'm supporting Baba Ali on tour. I'm doing dates in Birmingham and Brighton, which is also great, mega exciting. And I'm playing Long Division Festival in Wakefield.
Great. Yeah, so lots on.
Yeah, lots on, and hopefully more to come. But I'm trying to just I think the way that this music project started, I felt disconnected from a previous project, and it really just gave me the chance to focus in and do something for me. And these are demos that I made in my bedroom, where it was I'm just going to make music that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
And it's I have no expectations, because I'm just doing it and I'm trying to have fun and just enjoy. Whatever comes is a bonus. Do you know what I mean? And it's just it's good. Feels good to get it out there finally. So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and where do you get your inspiration from then? What keeps the fire burning for creativity?
I guess it comes from a lot of places. I love video games. I love films, comic books, and graphic novels. I like to watch TV. But I think a lot comes from traveling about and talking to people, and I try to keep myself open to the small messages that come from the universe in some way, you know. It's I was struggling for a lyric the other day, and all of a sudden the word bulldog just got mentioned a lot around me, and I just and then it was really weird, because it was coming from loads of different places. It was I was on the bus and someone was talking to someone else and they mentioned bulldog, and then it was on the telly and someone mentioned themselves being a bulldog, and all of this stuff, and I was just yeah, there it is. Do you know what I mean? But I'm trying to just keep myself open to the influences and where it may take me. So
yeah, nice, cool. So when you're watching TV, watching films, what kind of stuff have you been watching? On video games,
I recently got on the Nintendo Wii. I found it in cash converters for cheap. I got Resident Evil Veronica Stories, I think it's called, and it's basically an arcade light gun,
old school
pew,
games.
pew, pew. Yeah, exactly. So that's really fun. What else? I've been, to be honest, I use telly to switch off, and I just watch a lot of trash. It's like reality TV competitions. I've been recently watching The Drop, which is that streetwear thing on BBC, and it's it's just an opportunity to turn off. You know what I mean? And so
cool. So Yeah, I guess I'm wondering, like, I don't know. It's not Desert Island this, but like if you had to pick records, a record or a couple of records or a podcast or a book which you'd recommend, what would you choose?
Um, I've definitely got a book.
Yeah.
I'm reading it at the moment. It's banging. It's called Junglist
Two fingers.
by Two Fingers and James T. Kirk.
Nice.
It's like it's really intimate and it's like it's written in 95. They went clubbing and they basically from every weekend they came home, they wrote down whatever it was, and then they didn't go back and edit it.
Were they sober when they were doing the writing? No. Imagine.
But it's really intimate and it's like, yeah, it's great. It really captures like a cultural time, you know.
Where are they in the book? Like, were they in a particular part of the UK?
I think London. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
London. Yeah, it's based in London.
Cool.
Yeah, like
Nice.
South London.
Yeah.
hmm
In terms of music, then, what music have you been listening to?
I really, really love an album by Infinite Lives called Jim, and it's like it's really good. It's really, really good. It's like a psychedelic mix of like synths and strange grooves, and it's like really punchy, vivid lyrics and catchy hooks twisted around like social commentary. And this, I love it because it's just like, it's also real deep in experimentation and like it feels improvised when you listen to it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's got like this free jazz flavor as well. There's moments where it's sort of like floaty and then it's mega punchy, and I'm like, I love it. It's really good.
Awesome.
Jim by Infinite Lives. And also I really, really love TV on the radio. I think they're like a big inspiration to me. Their album Desperate Youth and Bloodthirsty Babes. This like album for me is like, if I could ever make something like this, I'm happy. I would like quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So jumping back a bit to.
Sorry. Do you mind if I pull up one more?
Oh yeah, pull up.
Do you mind if I pull up one more? I'm really, really into Naya Archives. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm like non-stop, like listening to mixes and watching the videos and everything. It's like,
Yeah.
banging. I'm
Awesome.
loving it. I'm loving it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna jump back to you as an artist and your inspirations, and I guess like I don't know. I'm wondering like, do you just wake up every day and you can create, or is there like, do you have like a routine, or do you make time to find inspiration? Like, what are you drawing on?
I think for me, I've been through like a really long journey.
Yeah, because you've gone like from metal to grime to hip hop to funk. Like, you've got all these influences, and not many artists would sit down and like start saying that they come from so many backgrounds. Yeah.
I guess like for me, like Berlin was my like training ground in some sense, you know? Like I went there and I just started doing street music. So like in some way, I was like getting immediate feedback on like my performances and the music that I'm making. And like maybe I would sit down in the evening before going out and I would write a few tracks, because I went out with like a little sampler and a little synth that was battery powered. I would connect it to my amp and I would just do some vocals and stuff. And yeah, you get immediate feedback, do you know what I mean, from the streets and like what people think of the music that you're making. So, but I also think with that and the city and what it was and what I was doing with myself, like head deep in hedonism, like not really looking after myself, and I think my mental health really took a big hit from not looking after myself and not prioritizing well-being or self-care or relationships with family and friends. So yeah, and I think in some way, for sure, I wouldn't really be doing music. I don't think there's anything else I could do other than music, because it provides me with the benefits that it does. Like, it helps my mental health. It helps me like express myself. And I think that there's a lot of things that music is more than words, you know? And I think there's a lot of things, like one of my earliest memories is like looking at Funkadelic covers, and like I feel the music spoke to me before I even had words to give back, you know, or words to express myself. So I think like music has this power of being able to express things that are beyond or unspoken or unexplainable even. It can create emotion, it can like create energy. And yeah, I think like I find inspiration to also just explore this and provide others the belief that they can do it too. So
yeah, album covers can be so powerful. I can just, when you were talking then about the Funkadelic album cover, I was thinking in my head, yeah, I remember like albums which were around the house. Did that belong to your parents?
yeah,
Funkadelic?
exactly. Yeah, my dad's record collection, and
Nice.
it's like these are some of the things that I remember, you know, like I wonder why I love Prince so much. It's like, is it because I saw him laying out on the front of an album so regularly? Do you know what I mean? Like, all flamboyant and that, and it's like, yeah, I want to be that. Like,
yeah. All right. So yeah, I guess that's all the questions. Oh no, I had one more question, which is a question I want to ask people on every episode going forward, and that's if you could make one law in the UK or one piece of social change. If you could change one thing about the world that we're living in this country, what would that be?
for me, I think that would be the if you've never had to struggle for money, or never had to, if you've never had to struggle for money, then you shouldn't be writing the laws that dictate how the rest of the country spend their money.
Simple as that, yeah.
Straight up, I feel like there just needs to be like a shift in the hierarchy of power, and there needs to be more common people contributing to our laws and contributing to our country.
Yeah, and you mentioned hierarchy earlier with your work with E Street and unconferences, did you say?
Unconferences,
yeah. Again, that theme of hierarchies and dislodging power. Yeah.
I think that one thing that I really want to do is make sure that marginalized people, the barriers that are there for marginalized people in art and music, if I can challenge these in some way and make it easier for somebody else to come in and do the thing that they want to do, to express themselves and their art and their story, then that'll be awesome. Yeah. And I think that's really all I want to do with myself.
What it's about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, great. Thank you for answering my questions.
It's all right. No
problem. Yeah. It's been wonderful to listen to you.
Thanks. No problem. That's fine.